Hello. Okay, let me see. Yes, awesome. Hello. Okay, so today, I'll wait as people trickle in, but I am going to be going live with a good friend of mine who I met a year ago, and she is incredible. She does the most magical facial massage I've ever really experienced. She irons out fascial cohesions and adhesions. So your fascia is the thin fibrous substance that connects your skin to your muscles, which creates collagen in your body, distributes cellular food to your tissues. So, sorry, I'm just and you can feel as she irons out these fascial cohesions and adhesions, it almost feels like she's popping your skull.
Hi,
Hello.
hi there.
How are you?
So fantastic. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy that it was your birthday yesterday.
Yay.
What
Thank
did
you so much.
what did you do?
I I worked all day, but
God.
I slept in and I did a super long meditation and snuggled in bed with my fiance before coming to work instead of just waking up and having my normal day. And then my office is cute. They have a little birthday party for me. And went out to dinner with Chase and Essie, so it was super cute.
Yay, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Okay, so 42 is a 6. Have you looked up your numerology?
I haven't. You want to tell me
Um,
anything?
from From what I know of a 6, just off the top of my head, it's like connecting to heaven, right? It's like reaching up to heaven and you're pregnant. Like the circular ball is like pregnancy, so therefore like booming with creativity and new.
That
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah,
perfect.
we'll take that.
I'm just getting ready to launch a whole bunch of new programs. I'm going to be training a bunch of people, including
Yay!
you.
I'm so excited. Yes,
I'm
that's
going to have all these nourish babies out there.
exactly. Is this the first time you're gonna do a teaching situation and have students?
In the last 6 or 7 years, yes.
Wow.
I haven't done a training in a long time, so I'm really excited. And before I train, before I do any of my programs, I actually put myself through the Redefine Beauty program. So I'm in the middle of that. So that's pretty awesome. Very excited.
Mm. What is that? Tell me.
So it's an 8-week program basically where we look into the idea of
Yeah.
beauty in the core of someone's belief system and start to navigate some of the beliefs, the subconscious experience of the skin, the hair, the body, the things that are commonly connected to beauty. And we start to get really clear on how those things play out in our lives. And then I teach some incredible tools on how to start actually creating more beauty as an internal component and really radiating beauty. And then also there's, the my normal skin techniques that are really important and valuable to be able to create beautiful radiant skin. And but really it's just a whole program, basically how to manifest beauty.
Totally.
That would be the simplest way to describe it. So
Yeah. I mean, like my education in facial massage was all about how your emotions get stagnated in your facial muscles and you wear
yeah,
them, you know? And so for what I'm hearing you say right now, I think that that might just be the whole key, that's the key to the lock that's going to change everything, is to be able to fully just access whatever those potential feel or like fears, beliefs, or perceptions that are incorrect and kind of being able to navigate through them and forgive them. And then, yeah.
Well, they're pretty misleading too, because, you know, I've been studying aging since I worked in plastic surgery. So I've been 23 years now, I've been doing this. And it's really fascinating to understand what people relate to as far as beauty. Most people, unfortunately, have this idea of beauty as being a very physical thing. And that's what we were taught beauty is, what your face looks like, how plump, or when I was a kid, skinny lips were in, and I used to, you know, tuck my lips in and try to learn how to talk with my lips tucked in, because everybody, like, thin lips was the thing. So if we're spending all this time and energy trying to be beautiful by working on our body, then we really are missing a lot of the opportunity to be beautiful from where, in my studies, I have seen it's coming from. And so it's really just a beautiful journey to define beauty by your own terms. Yeah. I'm not trying to impress upon anybody any concepts of beauty. If it is your face or your hair or your lips or your butt or whatever, that's completely fine. But I want people to access their truth in beauty and then be able to magnify that. And really, a lot of my experience in my study of beauty is that we have to share that. So we have to give the energy of beauty and see the energy of beauty externally. And that's really part of creating this life force of beauty, this vital energy of beauty. And so it's, if we know what it is that we're sharing and we're very clear on our vision of beauty, then it makes a big difference in being able to give that and have people witness it, you know?
Yes, and it makes me think of, in being able to express yourself fully and present your authentic self, other people start to get inspired to do the same thing, but you know, they will be able to recognize that as beautiful because they have beauty in themselves. You know, you're only going to recognize it if you have it in yourself. That goes hand in hand with things that you might not like and struggles that you have with other people. You know, it might not be immediately emulated, but like there's some, you know, you can only identify it because it's reflected in you.
Yeah, and the thing you were talking about earlier about our emotions being trapped in our face, we all collectively agree that we use our face as an identifying marker, right? It's on our driver's license, it's on our passport. You know, there's nobody like, oh, I see that elbow in the crowd up there. That's definitely Eyren. You know, like, we just all agree that we identify with our face. And so because we also generally, as human beings, most people identify with their stories, what we've been through, what we identify as gender-wise, what we do in life, what we're good at, things like that. We wake up in the morning and we're like, oh, this is, oh, the body of Kristin, and I am all these things, a mother, you know, a facial specialist, a redefined beautyist, like, you know. So because we decide that we identify with all the things we've been through that have made us who we are in this moment, and we identify in our face, our face actually holds all of our past experiences. So if there is unresolved trauma in the past experiences, there's going to be unresolved trauma in the face, which shows up as blockages, which really show up as fascial cohesions and fascial adhesions, and blocks for you to be able to get nutrition and vitality through the fascial network.
Yeah.
So through the whole practice of Redefined Beauty, it's really beautiful because it's this opportunity to open up and really explore and move energy and learn these cool manifestation techniques that I've learned all over, you know, the years, and just, it's great for the health of the body and for the health of the mind, and just to be more open to the magical things around us that really support us living in our vision and being creative and being able to share these creative attributes with others and being able to receive in a good way by people around us.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's really incredible. And I think about, because I work with lymph, when you were explaining what happens with fascia and things get trapped, the way that I think about lymph and fascia, they're so intertwined with one another. And your lymph, I think of it as emotions. You know, it's water, just like water
Mm-hmm.
signs and the zodiac. And so that goes hand in hand with water and emotions. And so when you're experiencing lymphatic stagnation, it's unaddressed emotions, or a, you know, just like a heaviness and not wanting to move through all of those emotions. And I think that that is the same with fascial cohesions and adhesions.
Yeah, they're very much relatives. It's interesting, you know, I feel like one is the more feminine version of the same thing, and one is the more masculine version of the same thing. They're just so intertwined. It really takes working on both of them at the same time to really have great results, and also to understand what's going on. And then in the training, so the 8-week training that I'm just about to launch again, people do at home. It's kind of like a self-study program. And then with you, you're going to start level 1 of my face sculpting sessions, which I'm really excited about because we need someone in New York. I used to travel to New York every month, and now I can't. So we really need someone to kind of take over from my clients up there. So I'm super excited. And that's a 1-day training. My level 2 is a 4-day in-person training, which means you'll have to come visit me in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're going to be talking about all the really incredible tools to be able to give someone a facelift and teach people how to do face sculpting work at home, which I think is so important and integral. And it's one of the things that has made my career so successful, is that because I've always been so busy and I can't see all my clients super often, I've really tried to empower everybody to do things at home, and that made me more busy. And so I think it's just such, you know, like an incredible treat to be able to just teach people, and it kind of creates a little bit of this very impressive following. So I'm happy to be passing on the baton to you for New York City people.
Yeah, it's so, I love learning, and I'm so excited to dive into that class. I was just like, I freaked out when I saw that you had posted on it. I was like, on your Instagram, I was like, oh my God, I need to enroll. I need to ask for work off right now because I have to be available.
When you texted me, I got that. I was like, this girl's literally on right now, taking the day off so we can do that.
Totally. But I can't wait that we can talk today, right now, and do some of the facial massage, like you were saying. And I think that it's so incredible to be able to give people tools that they can use at home, because these things should be approachable, you know? It's, I feel like it, with media, social media, it's kind of gotten, you've had more access to like how to use a gua sha or videos like this. But I find that a lot of my friends still ask me all the time, how do I massage my face or apply product, or what is this? What is this? And so just talking about that today and letting people have that knowledge and be able to self-soothe by touch, because something that I learned recently was that your nervous system and your skin are one and the same. In utero, they came from the same germ layers. And so, you know, touch is so intimate and soothing because it is immediately connected to your nervous system.
Yes. And it is important every day. I think what makes us better facial specialists is when clients are relaxing the nervous system every day and restoring back to a happy medium, because then we can go a lot deeper and work on other things. If people don't know how to touch their face every day, because every day we hold stress and trauma in our face, we react to external toxins and things in the environment, and then we also have internal stress, and it's just, it right now is a time where we can see a ton of stress, and a lot of trapped emotions are coming to the surface with our astrological energies. This stuff cannot be within, so everything is kind of coming to the surface. The skin is a backup excretory tool for your emotions, for your liver, large intestines, lungs, and blood. And so it needs to be touched and opened every day. There's channels that run. Basically, your skin has channels that are used as detox, and so they take in nutrition externally. So basically, when we create vitamin D and other oils on our skin, that we then reabsorb through these channels, and then also when we're detoxing waste. So if these channels are hard and tight and congested, that whole process doesn't happen. But when we're opening up those channels and we're able to properly detox and able to properly bring in nutrition, this is one of the most incredible techniques for us to have healthy skin. And, you know, my skin, I hold a lot of stress in here. And so like at the end of the day, if I wasn't working on this area of my face, even for just a minute every night, then I would have a lot of lines here, because this is where I hold all of my stress in my face is here. Since I was a little kid, I just make this face everything that I'm doing. So by teaching people how to do these things at home on a daily basis, being able to relax the face, to relax the nervous system, to go back down to a neutral space in the tension of the face, then when we come in and we're able to do our facial sculpting work, we're able to work a lot deeper in the structural parts of the face and the components that are actually going to contour, lift, create more volume, open, tone, and detox. And we're not spending the first hour of our session reducing these topical fascial cohesions and adhesions that actually people could be working on at home. So it makes for a much better facial. If you guys learn how to be really good at taking your care at home, it takes like 4 minutes a day total. Then when you're seeing someone who can sculpt your face, the effects are incredible. And what's really amazing is I've just gone back and started really studying the faces of my clients. So I have clients that I've been with for like 23 years, but the first 11 years were in plastic surgery. So I converted my entire practice 12 years ago to holistic. My clients that have been with me since then time, I'm now starting to document how their faces are looking, and they don't age. It is incredible. The results, I'm starting to compile all those results so people can really see that this isn't a temporary thing. This is something where we're able to get a result in the face, and then we're able to maintain that result. I have clients who are now in their 80s who look for sure 20 years younger. And it's interesting to see, because I have a few of them that never wanted me to work much on their neck and chest. They wanted me to focus all my energy on their face. So you can see the difference in their neck and chest versus my other clients who had me work on their neck and chest. So it's really a fascinating study just to see the progression of these anti-aging practices that we could get into. I feel like we could talk for a long time, but we could just start showing people. Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys some of my favorite tips. So if you're on, I am going to talk for a few more minutes. I want to talk about some of my base tips, and then I'm going to teach you guys the face lifting for at home. We're going to do it together. So if you're on now and you want to quickly run and grab some moisturizer, some serum, some balm, as long as it does not have water in it. So it needs to be a cream or a balm or a serum that has no water, no preservatives, because we don't want to actually push the preservatives into the skin. Then, and if you don't have anything like that, you could even, I'm not a big fan of coconut oil for the skin all the time because it's a high molecular density, but it would work for today, just for this practice. So if you want to go get that. So my baseline favorite tips, number one, learn how to read packaging. If you look at our products and you read all of our ingredients, every single ingredient is a plant. That's it. We don't put water, we don't put fillers, we don't put preservatives, we don't put 4 nice organic plants and then a bunch of other chemicals that you can't name. Literally, you do not need to put a lot of other stuff in skincare products to make it effective. You can use skincare products that are completely made from plants, and they are very, very powerful. I learned this the first time I went to the jungle 13 years ago to actually do some personal healing work that I had been dealing with since I was 2, and I was 29 at that point. And the first time I started really healing was in the jungle, working with completely with plants. Everything else in my life shifted, and I was on a totally natural process. So I learned how to incorporate all these indigenous practices. I still, to this day, I go to Peru every year, Bolivia every year. I study with indigenous teachers, learning how to work on a really powerful level with plants to be able to create effects on the skin. Skin cells and plant cells are so similar that in about 5 weeks of using plant information on the skin, it actually communicates with your skin cells and changes how your skin cells interact with your environment. It's an evolution of the skin based on the information. It's like the plant cells are the teacher for skin cells, and then they know what to do. There are plants out there that can get fried in the sun all day long, and they never get burned or damaged because they know how to use sunlight as pranic energy. And there are plants that are heavily detoxifying. There are plants that are strengthening. There are plants that do everything you could want to do for your skin. So when you're reading your ingredient labels, make sure that you're using really healthy products. Now, in soap, if soap is like a natural handmade soap, then we follow saponification processes, which basically we use fats, which for us is plant oils. And then we're using water, and then you basically marry those two through a process of using lye and thyme, and it actually creates a chemical reaction where you no longer have oil, you no longer have water, and you don't have the lye anymore. They merge together and they make one product. That's saponification. That's how you make soap. So it's okay if you see water as an ingredient in your soap. That is okay. Otherwise, your serums, balms, creams, all those things should not have any water in them. And then you want to wash your face once a day only. Don't wash your face in the morning. You take even a gentle wash can strip down the natural oils that you need in your skin to basically have a firm barrier, to detox properly, and to take nutrition in. Those oils are so important. If you do an aggressive wash, and you especially use, most soaps on the market these days, unfortunately, are detergents. It's the same stuff that you would use on your floor or on your car. They're just putting it in a bottle and calling it face wash. Those things will damage your soap for 8 to 36 hours. Wow. So then that whole period of time after, you don't have the natural oils that are protecting you. So wash your face with a healthy soap. Use cool or cold water, never hot water. Don't use a scrub. Don't use a washcloth. Don't use a brush. Use your fingertips and clean your face that way. Pat dry with a towel when you're done. And then you're going to follow. So when you repost this video when we're done, I'll add the little 2-minute follow along video for people to do the massages every day. So 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night, massaging your product on, instead of just, you know, most of us are taught to just kind of like put our product on, tap under the eyes. You're only allowed to use these fingers. Remember they taught us all that? Yeah. No. You got to move your face. You got to stretch. You got to massage. You got to detox. Those are things that are so incredibly important. I don't think I had great skin naturally. I had lines all over my forehead and here when I was like, I think 16, 17, when I worked for plastic surgeons. When I turned 19, they were like, okay, we're going to start with implants and fillers and Botox and all these things. And you want to send your friends in because we got to start early, and you should get your first facelift when you're 39 because, you know, that was the industry that I worked in for the first 11 years. How I really got a hold of my skin is the at-home practice. Just this thing we're going to practice right now, using healthy products, no chemicals. I never wear face makeup. I have mascara on at the highlight of my makeup career, which is like maybe once a year that I go to a gala or something, I'll put a little bit of shadow and eyeliner and mascara. And it's all organic and natural, so it's probably gone an hour later anyway. But you can really train your skin to be beautiful without foundation. And that is so important and nourishing, I think, for our self-confidence and for our redefined beautiness, because we want to be able to go out and be completely ourselves. And also, if this is a detoxification tool, it's also really important that that channel is open. Okay, so without further ado, let's grab our products. If you've joined, please get a cream or a balm or a serum. I'm going to use our Rosea cream.
I'm using
And
Rosea
yeah,
oil.
oh, I love it. Perfect twinsies. Just make sure that you're grabbing something that doesn't have water or preservatives in it. You don't want to do this massage practice unless the products are totally natural. So our products, you always break down. If it's one of our creams or balms, we have these little pearls in there, and they encapsulate the delicate plants. So you break it down between your hands. That energy, it kind of tells your hands you're connecting your hands to your whole body. You'll feel a tingly sensation, a lot of energy. You can take a moment to smell the plants, and you're just going to kind of get it all over your face. So I put a lot on. I like to be super hydrated. Just, you're probably going to use a little more than you would normally use for an everyday practice, because we're going to be massaging. Now, normally this practice takes 2 minutes, but I'm going to talk to you. It's probably going to take us about 10 minutes or a little more just for this practice. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is, you can do some thymus thumping, or you can do some tapping. Basically, we're going to activate the immune system, and you should tap strong enough. You probably can hear a little vibration in my voice. You should feel a little bit of like a sore. Don't hurt yourself, but you want to create energy and vibration in here. This is really important for alerting the immune and the lymph systems that we're going to start doing a little bit of work. So generally in the normal 2-minute practice, this is going to just be like 32 is a really good number. So you're going to just kind of tap a few times. We've already surpassed that. Then you're going to come up to right above the clavicle here, and you can either just kind of tap or push. You can do this kind of tapping, or you can kind of rub back and forth. So you don't need to push in and apply pressure here. This is more of a skin rub or a tap like this. And this is the most important point that you want to open up for the lymphatic system. So definitely make sure that this area you're getting well. And then we're going to move into this area just at the peak where your jaw and your neck and your ear meet. And you're going to kind of pull down. You can also do some tapping if that feels comfortable. So this is all related to the lymphatic system. And we're just kind of opening up these lymphatic points because we're going to be doing a lot of detoxification here. And so we want these channels to start draining, start moving, start detoxing. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your fingers like this just around your ears. And I want you to imagine you're kind of moving your ears. If you have a lot of sinus issues, then you might feel some little like clicking, and that's okay too. This practice is really good. If that's what you're feeling, then make sure this is part. You can go backwards and then you can go forwards a few times. So you're getting that multi-movement. And then we're just going to go right back down the neck, and you're going to start dragging and massaging down your neck. Okay, so now we've opened up these lymph channels here. You're going to just do a light drag all the way down. from all these midpoints on your face. You're just dragging everything down. So now everything's open. You should feel, and the downward movement is really important at this part. So now I like to come into the liver meridian here, and you can do some, now you're going to use pretty firm pressure now. Different than the lymphatic activation, you're actually going to use pretty firm pressure. So you can do all these really great movements. So you can do these back and forth movements. You can actually go up and down, and you can probably see that I'm using pretty firm pressure. And so what you want to do is start feeling. So I tend to have some ridges right here. Now, if it will feel sore for you to work on this, that's okay, but not if it's painful, but soreness is normal. So if you feel like there's indentations in your bone, that's not actually an indentation in your bone. That's a fascial cohesion or a fascial adhesion. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your fingers and your cream as a magic eraser. And you're going to kind of get into these notches, and you're going to just try to smooth them out. And this one already feels better for me. I have another little one here. So I'm kind of doing some erasing. This is my spot. So I'm spending more time here. Thank you for honoring my self-care practice for the day.
No, totally. I mean, I'm just like exploring on my forehead and realizing that I had so many more like regions.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is liver, and then this is all gallbladder in here. They just tend to get really dense. So you can do back and forth circles. I don't want you guys to worry too much about what you're doing here. This is kind of the basic massage I'm teaching you. What we'll do is maybe we'll come back on in a month when I get back from the jungle, and I'll teach you guys the more advanced practice where you're doing a little more breath work. I can teach you some tongue and jaw positioning while you're working on all this, so we can get really advanced. And one of the good things that you can do, so now I'm just kind of going all the way up the forehead. I'm going back and forth, making some big circles. And one thing, when you learn this practice pretty well, then I'm also going to encourage you to have some really positive affirmations. So when you're in the mirror doing this every morning, you're starting to incorporate some beautiful and powerful affirmations. So after that, I'm just going to drag back down, just you doing those lymph patterns. And then I want to go right under the eyebrow. So this is awesome. You really want to get this area open. In my studies that I've done with aging, people tend to be acknowledged as more beautiful when their eyes are open, even if they have some lines and wrinkles on their face. So keeping the eyes open is really, it just feels good too. So if it's really tight in here, you can actually get in. You can see I'm pinching. And you can just feel any areas that are a little tight or tense. And I want you to just kind of have a self-guided practice. But this is important, very important area. And then when you're done, you're going to kind of go out to your temples, and you're just going to pump a few times on your temples and then drag down. Okay, so now we're going to go under the eyes, and I know probably most people are taught to be really gentle under your eyes. This is the kidney meridian, and it's really important to actually move fluid. So, right, you have this periorbital bone, and then you have kind of this fatty area here. You're going to push, without pushing on your eyeball, you're going to create a nice, firm movement out and down. And this moves fluid. If you tend to have bags under the eyes, this is a really great exercise for you. You can practice like tightening the lids a little bit and then relaxing. Tightening, but without scrunching. Tightening and relaxing as you're doing that. And look at the water that you're drinking and when you drink water, because this is all related to hydration. Okay. That hair. Okay, got it. Okay, now we're going to go on to the nose. So you can do the same crisscross. And I feel like most people forget about their nose when they're moisturizing. I used to have really big pores on my nose as a teenager, and the massaging of the nose is really what got my pores to kind of close up. This is a cleansing method here. This deep massage that you're doing is really detoxifying and cleansing. It helps to create vibration in the pore that detoxes the pore. It strengthens the natural oils that your pores need to create, and it moves toxins and waste and debris out of the pores. And then again, we're just going to go back down. So now we're going to go onto the cheek, and I like on the cheek to do different kind of patterns. So you're not going to press as much on the cheek. You're kind of going to want to pull. So you can see I'm grabbing the cheek. I'm grabbing the fatty tissue. And you can for sure, I'd say every person I've ever taught this feels kind of like an itchy sensation. That is fascia. So this is just, right?
Totally. I'm like feeling it in my nose.
Yes.
Also.
And it's so connected to all other parts of the face. So this point here and the cheeks, these are really important points that you work on. So this stretching, it feels so good. I know we look funny, but it's worth it.
Do you ever do it like up and down like this instead of going like this?
Yes. Yeah. Don't worry too much about your pattern right now. Really just start practicing doing it. Okay, so we're going to drag all that down. Okay, now we're going to go right here. You have a really important pressure point right here. You're going to dig in and go up a little bit, and then you're going to feel a little bit more pressure / discomfort. So just hold that for a moment, and then you can do some circles, and you'll feel the fascia unwind. You'll feel it's really hard and tight, and then just by applying pressure with this gentle movement, you'll feel it just soften. It feels so good. It's kind of itchy and uncomfortable, but in a great way.
Totally.
Hi, everybody that's joining. Okay, so now we're going to kind of go underneath the cheekbone to create this nice definition here. And we're going to just go back and forth with a firm bit of pressure. And we're doing some, we had a question, what are we doing? We're doing some self-face sculpting that you can do every day for 2 minutes to create really uplifted and healthy face. And that feels really good. If you have tension in your jaw, most jaw fascia will kind of start to tighten up here. So this should feel really good. And then we're going to go right into the jaw now. So I like to do some circles in the back of the jaw first.
Hello. My cat just came in here. She wants
Hi,
to
baby. Okay, so now we've gotten into the jaw a little bit, and you can kind of go back and forth and feel where you're having any tension. And then we're going to kind of, I like to do these like back and forth. Just imagine you're almost pulling and stretching these fascial knots. These fascial knots kink up in there. And so when we're opening them up and stretching them, then the face is able to get nutrition, circulation, blood flow, and you're going to get potentially a lot different movement in the face, which is going to create more muscular structure and tone in the face, which looks lifted and looks a lot prettier. So we're just going back and forth, relaxing and stretching out this fascia here and getting rid of any tight points. I like to do the chin if you have large pores. That used to be my issue. I had really large pores in my chin. So I just like to get into the chin area. And then we're going to go up the nasolabial fold, so you can kind of do some fast friction. And then if nasolabial folds are an issue for you, then you're actually going to really get in there and you can kind of pull and stretch. Imagine that the fascia is hard and kinked and dried, like cemented, and you're getting in there and you're smoothing it out and getting more hydration in there until it's spongy. So you can do some movements where you're stretching that out, whatever feels good for you. I feel like so many people don't start with face massage because they feel like they have to learn all these techniques. And really, I want you to be intuitive with this and really self-guided. Everybody's face is different. There can be fascial knots here that pull all the way up here. They pull all the way up here. They can pull all the way up here. They can pull here. So everyone's different. And if you start to feel what feels good for you and what opening your face wants, that's really important in the process. And then we can get the upper lip. And now you can go into your lip too. I actually got a text from one of my clients right before this, and she was like, everyone keeps asking me if I got filler in my lips.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I've been working for the last 3 sessions on her in her mouth, which we can do another live for that one next time. And that's all that stress was pulling her mouth in and down. So releasing all that is what made the difference.
So do you know what causes the crunchy feeling in the under eye area, the dark circles?
Yes, this is your kidney meridian. So look at the type of water that you drink. And you can put images or crystals or things that give more vibration to your water. Twist your water in a glass bottle before you drink it to vortex it. Make sure you're drinking first thing in the morning when you wake up and last thing at night before you're going to bed. And you can, and when you massage, really, if you go back, if you just joined now and you missed the massage earlier, we taught some massage practices that are going to be really important for opening up the fascia that's kinked and created fluid around here. And that will really start. So the fluid gets stuck around the fascial knots, around the hardness of the fascia. So this whole process that we're doing, you're going to do your whole face, and that's going to help the eye area to shift. Now we're going to take our thumbs and we're going to go under our chin here, under our jaw. And you're going to go all the way out to here. This area should feel a little sore, and for some people, if it's really congested, you might cough when we do this. Hi, baby.
Georgia.
I would have brought my kitty if I knew.
Yeah.
So we're doing some nice massage, and this is really toning and sculpting. You can go back and forth. I feel like this is an area that people forget about a lot.
Totally. And especially with like postures with our phones, it just creates such a little section here. People often are like, how do I get rid of this double chin? I'm like, it's all facial massage and lymphatics.
Yeah. Look up and also put your tongue on the palate of your mouth as much as you can during the day. So we're going back and forth, and then at the end, we're just going back down the neck again. So we just, in all this face work, you should feel warm in your face. You should feel vibration. We'll do a little more tapping on the thymus. Now, again, remember we're doing this for 10, 15 minutes because we're talking a lot, but you can do this at home real quick, 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes a night. And I'll teach you also too the 20-second version. So if you're like, I don't even have 2 minutes in the morning, you have no excuses because I'll teach you the 20-second version. So we're also going to do more the lymph right here, the clavicle. Remember, this is the most important one. Don't ever skip this one. We're going to just kind of pull down. And then now we're going to start going down the neck. You're going to go right here around the thyroid, and you can do some stretching out. You can do some circles. If anybody has lines that run across your neck, you can spend some extra time just stretching out those lines. It's a little harder on the neck because of pushing down on your throat, but you will figure it out. And then you want to get into your muscle here and just grab, like really grab. And you're going to start at the top and kind of grab and drag down.
Okay, so this question, does lymphatic fluid just continue to be moved around or does it drain? So basically your lymph fluid, it's recycled. It's interstitial fluid. So that's like stuff that's in between your cells. That's not your blood. Sometimes it can join your bloodstream, and then there's like these drains where the lymphatic stuff, which is going to be like metabolic waste, lipid deposits, pathogens, cellular debris, it goes into your lymph system, which is like the first level of your immune system, and it drains in the sense that it is purified through your lymph nodes, and then it rejoins your blood. Which is a very long-winded.
Our lymph specialist. So you're just going to keep dragging across the chest, especially women tend to hold a lot of stress here. So drag across these muscles, and then you should feel pretty good. And we're going to get into the ear. So you're going to take your 4 fingers first, and you're going to do the whole front of the ear. And it's really important that you guys understand about lymph too. I'm glad that that question was asked, because I think understanding lymph and fascia is part of really healing the body and understand how to heal every day, because this is stuff that you want to see a therapist for and stuff you want to do at home every day. And so understanding that, for me, feels more important than exercise. And exercise is very important. But if my lymph and fascia aren't receiving attention, I do not feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get the whole ear, pull out and down. This is a cranial sacral point that meets right up here. You're going to just pull. And you can almost feel the whole head opening up a little bit. And then you're going to take your thumbs and you're going to get the whole back of your ear. Oh, it feels so good, right?
Oh, endorphins are created when you massage your ears.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and now, so you should feel a lot of heat moving into your face just from the ears. And now we're going to get into our scalp. So get your hands in there. This is really important every day. Blood goes from the heart all the way up to the crown and back down. So if the fluid systems are stagnant and you're not creating this nice movement in the scalp every day, you are limiting how much nutrition, blood flow and detoxification can happen for your face. And it feels great. And you could literally do 3 seconds if you needed to, but just get your scalp moving. I love it. Oh yeah.
So good.
I don't know who would want to skip this, but that's okay. And now you should feel, I just want you to like take a second, breathe, and feel the energy, feel the movement. You can feel energy and vitality going in, and you should also feel this kind of like detoxification happening. And I just want you to tune in, and if you can amplify that energy, so you can tune into that tingling, warm energy, and if you can imagine it growing or getting more warm or a little more tingly and more vibration, these are the internal processes that create a lot of health and beauty for your face. And these are free things that you can do for 1 second that make a huge difference in the longevity. And so that's our massage practice. I'll include later the link for the little YouTube video that I made that has the 2-minute version of that you can follow along. I'm going to show you guys really quickly the 20-second version, okay? So if you're in a super duper hurry one day and you don't have time for that whole thing that we just did, and again, I was talking a lot, and so we went a little longer. Let's see, Carol, so amazing. I'm having an allergic reaction to a dog I'm watching, and this massage just provided me so much relief. Yay!
Like ASMR, you know?
Come visit me, Carol. I'll take care of your face. And okay, so quick 20 seconds. You're just going to kind of get some balm all over. You're just going to thump on the thymus. You're going to do some pushing right here. You're going to drag down a little bit. And then you're just going to open up everything with pressure. Go under the eyes. Go down, grab your ears, move your scalp, and boom. That's it. So just don't put your cream on like that. Just rub it in. And remember, even if it's a couple of thumps on the thymus, and then 5 seconds here on the clavicle, that's enough to get the lymph activated. It's not perfect, but it makes a huge difference. And there's no reason to say that you can't incorporate this into your routine. So we did
Yay!
Awesome.
Like radiating, reverberating around my face. It's so lovely.
It feels so good.
Totally.
I do, once a month, I do a 20-minute guided massage for people to practice at home, and Wa joins me and she plays beautiful kirtan music and says affirmations. It's incredible.
I want to do that.
Yeah, you should. Every month. We just posted, we're posting the next one today, I believe. We post the first Thursday of every month.
Yeah, today's Thursday.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what is today?
It's the first Thursday of May. So so we'll post the new one today, and all the old ones are on YouTube, and it's a really good practice.
So that's where you're posting them, on YouTube?
Yeah, the links are on Instagram, on Nourish, and on my dances on Water page.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yay.
Incredible.
Does anybody else have any questions or anything that they want to share before we hop off?
Yeah, let's see. Today there's an eclipse.
Yes.
Are you going to do anything for it?
Yeah, we have like a little ceremony. I have these frog statues that I brought back from Bolivia that I do something around the full moon every month for them. So we'll start today with that practice. I get them flowers and crystals and use some sacred resins and tobacco around them. And so Carol said, opinion using hands versus gua sha. So I like gua sha. Gua sha is a beautiful frosting on the cake, I will call it. You want to always use your hands first. If you have not used your hands, don't use gua sha. So your hands, you have these smaller crevices you can get in. Your hands are connected to your body. They also have, each finger has a different vibration and a different energy, your left hand versus your right hand. So using both of your hands and using all of your fingers is really important, connected to the whole system of energy and emotions. And your hands really are in tune with what stagnation is going on in your body. So after you use your hands, if you want extra time with the gua sha or cupping or something like that, it's totally fine. But using gua sha primarily is not recommended in my experience. And also, it's just kind of important to make sure you know where your gua sha came from. If it's crystal, has it been polished with chemicals or things like that, just to make sure it's non-toxic. And I don't think that information is easily found with crystals yet. There's no labeling. So just kind of check in with that.
What do you think about facial cupping?
I love it. So awesome. I really like it because, especially because we're doing a lot of pressure
Yeah.
induced, we're not doing a lot of pulling except kind of when we're working on the cheeks. So having suction in the other direction is really good. But again, it has to be after you've worked on all those fascial cohesions and fascial knots. Mm-hmm. Because with the cupping, you're going to be getting some of that fluid moving. But if there's a lot of stagnation or tension somewhere, it's going to get jammed in that area. And you don't want more fluid sitting in different areas.
Yeah. Hands reign supreme, first and foremost.
Well, we did it. We did awesome. I'm so glad that I was able to come on and meet all your friends. Thanks so much for joining, guys. And be ready for some magic now that Eyren's going to be doing all our Nourish practices in New York City. You guys will have access to this, and we can come on and do more lives anytime. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for you, Kristin. Truly the wealth of knowledge. I love you so much. I can't wait to take your course. By the way, if anyone hasn't heard already, Kristin is teaching a course. It's on the 24th of this month, which is May. It's for practitioners, and I definitely would never miss it, which is why I'm going to be there. And if you all are interested, definitely look it up. It is on Dances on Water.
It's on Nourish and dances.on.water.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So on both of the Instagrams, gorgeous. Look it up on Nourish. Yeah.
Yay. All right. Well, I will see you. And you'll save this and repost it, and I'll add the link later. So
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank
you so much. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.